Welcome, trainers. As I was planning my next adventures to share with you, I realized that completing the Pokédex in every generation always comes down to one major problem: having all the legendary Pokémon. Since most of them cannot be bred, we must transfer them from previous games, unless we rely on special events. So, I decided to embark on a legendary hunt, starting with Pokémon Red, the very first Pokémon game I ever played. To make things even more exciting, I'll be doing 3 different runs, with 3 unique teams. By the end, we'll have caught 3 of each of the 5 available legendaries. Yes, 5, because we are catching Mew too. These are the self-imposed rules for every playthrough. The game will be played at 4 times the speed, simulating Dodrio Mode from Pokémon Stadium. No glitches are allowed, except the Mew Glitch, obviously. All 3 runs will be completed on Pokémon Red, since I own at least one original copy. Unfortunately, I never had Pokémon Blue and I lost my Pokémon Yellow cartridge, but not the box. So, for Gen 1, it will be Pokémon Red for now. Even though we'll be catching 5 legendary Pokémons per run, we are not allowed to use them. Each team will have 5 Pokémon, and all 5 HMs must be talked to team members, making team composition more strategic. No duplicate Pokémon between runs. Every playthrough will feature a different starter and a unique team. Each run ends once we've captured all 5 available legendaries. Just for fun, we'll track total playtime and number of times that we had to reset along the way. 3 runs, 5 legendaries, 5 HMs, and 5 Pokémon per team. Let's begin this legendary quest. We begin our journey with Charmander as our starter, facing off against Blue in the first battle of the 8 we'll do on the playthrough. He went down quickly after several scratch attacks. With our first victory secured, we headed north through Route 1 to reach Viridian City, where we pick up the parcel and return it to Professor Oak in exchange for the Pokédex. Back in Viridian City, we made our way west to catch a Spearow, battling wild Pokémon along the way. However, Spearow isn't destined to be a permanent member of our team. Before challenging Blue for the second time, I decided to train Charmander further in Viridian Forest. Alongside leveling up, we also needed to catch 10 Pokémon to obtain HM 5 later, a goal we'll be working on throughout all 3 runs. After defeating every trainer in the forest, I returned to Route 22 and battled Blue again, securing another easy win. From there, we continued north until we arrived in Pewter City, ready for our first gym battle. The match was straightforward. I relied on Ember to deal damage and used Growl against Onix when it used the move Bite. With our first badge in hand, we pressed forward to Route 3. During our battles on Route 3, Charmander evolved into Charmeleon. We also caught our second team member, Jigglypuff, who will serve as our flash user. With our new companion, we headed northeast toward Mount Moon. Inside, we found our third team member and sleep/catcher, Paras. After making our way through the cave, we emerged on the other side and continued east to Cerulean City. Before taking on the gym, I decided to battle Blue first. Once again, he went down without much trouble. After that, we tackled the Nugget Bridge, which required frequent backtracking to the Pokémon Center to keep our team in top shape. Since we needed to perform the Mew Glitch, but I couldn't recall which trainers were required, we carefully avoided most battles on routes 24 and 25. Eventually, we reached Bill's house, helped him regain his human form, and obtained the SSN ticket. With that in hand, I decided to head south to Vermilion City. There, we traded our Spearow for Farfetch, our 4th team member and designated Fly and Cat user. While in town, we also picked up the bike voucher. Aboard the SSN, I made sure to battle every trainer to level up our team. At the end of the ship, we faced Blue once more, securing another victory before receiving HM 1 from the captain and teaching it to Dax. Returning north to Cerulean City, we finally challenged Misty. Despite our level advantage, her Starmie put up a tough fight, forcing us to use our entire team to secure the win. With our second badge in hand, we set our sights on Lieutenant Surge. Against his Pokémon, Paras took down Voltorb and Pikachu with Dig, but fainted against Raichu. Charmeleon finished the battle, barely surviving with 1 HP. Our next goal was to cross Diglett's cave to obtain HM5, which we promptly took to Jigglypuff. From there, we made our way through the Route 9 toward Rock Tunnel. While battling inside, our Paras evolved into Parasect. After emerging from the tunnel and defeating the trainers along the way, we headed west from Lavender Town, making an early arrival in Celadon City. Upon arriving, we went straight for Eevee and used the Water Stone to evolve it into Vaporeon, completing our final team member. With that done, we headed west to obtain HM2 Fly, and talked it to Dax. Next, we faced Gym Leader Erika, who stood no chance against Dax's powerful combination of Swords Dance and Fly. Her team fell swiftly, earning us the 4th badge. Afterward, we defeated Giovanni in the Rocket Hideout. However, in the rush, I forgot to grab the Silph Scope, one of the many mistakes in this run. We had to backtrack to retrieve it before continuing our journey. With the item in hand, we confronted Blue once again inside Pokémon Tower. Around this time, I decided to evolve Jigglypuff into Wigglytuff, since it had learned all the moves I wanted. After clearing out Team Rocket and rescuing Mr. Fuji, he rewarded us with the Pokéflute. As we battled trainers along Cycling Road, our Charmeleon finally evolved into Charizard. I took the time to defeat every trainer there, as well as those between routes 12 and 15. Eventually, we arrived in Fuchsia City. I decided to tackle the Safari Zone first, though it took me 2 attempts since I didn't remember the correct path on my first try. Eventually, we received HM3 and took it to Vaporeon. Shortly after, we obtained HM4, which found a place in Charizard's moveset. With those tasks complete, it was time to challenge Koga. Thanks to Charizard and Dax, both equipped with Slash, a powerhouse move in this generation, he went down without much resistance. Now armed with 5 badges and a fully assembled team, we set our sights on the Silphco building to liberate it from Team Rocket. Inside, we battle every trainer, including our rival Blue, who was defeated with little effort. At the end, we faced Giovanni once again, and like Blue, he posed no real challenge. With Team Rocket dealt with, we waste no time in taking on Sabrina. Combining the strength of Charizard and Vaporeon, we managed to take her down. Only 2 more badges remain, but our team's moveset was now complete, as you can see in the video. Just as we did on our way to Fuchsia City, we cleared routes 19, 20 and 21 of trainers, gathering valuable experience before finally reaching Cinnabar Island. Inside Pokémon Mansion, after being lost for a while, we finally locate the key to unlock the gym and challenge Blaine. The battle was a breeze, with Vaporeon effortlessly handling his team. With 7 badges secured, we flew back to Viridian City for one final showdown against Giovanni. As expected, Vaporeon made quick work of his team, securing our 8th and final badge. Now, with all the badges in hand, we made our way to Route 22 to face Blue for the penultimate time. Like our previous encounters, the battle was another easy win. Next was Victory Road, where we navigated through the dungeon and got a bit lost until we finally arrived at the Indigo Plateau. After some careful item management, buying and selling, we were fully prepared for the Elite Four. Remember that in this generation we can only have 20 items at a time. It took some adjusting to work within these restrictions after so many years, but in my next playthrough we'll see how much better I handle it. Without further ado, let's become the champions of Kanto. Our first challenge was Lorelei. We led with Charizard, using it to take down Dewgong and Cloyster, before it eventually fainted. Parasect stepped in to finish the job and then faced the Slowbro, slowly chipping away his health thanks to a Spore. For Jinx, I switched to Vaporeon, who took her down with ease. Finally, Wigglytuff stalled Lapras with Vaporeon's Toxic, waiting for it to faint. Next up was Bruno, who was no match for our bulky Vaporeon. What a Pokémon! This was one of the biggest surprises of the run, as I don't think I ever used Vaporeon in any playthrough before. Agatha followed, but her entire team fell quickly to Charizard's Earthquake thanks to their poison typing. Then came Lens, who, as expected, became yet another victim of our MVP, Vaporeon. At least when it came to battles, Vaporeon proved to be the real star of this run. Finally, we faced Blue for the last time. As incredible as it sounds, we lost to him twice. His Alakazam was a serious threat, serving as a reminder that Psychic types aren't just amazing when we use them. They are terrifying to fight against too, but the third time's the charm. We finally defeated him, securing our title as the champion of Kanto. Look at this odd team. But our challenge wasn't over yet. We still had to catch every legendary in the game using this squad. First, we headed to the power plant. After putting Zapdos to sleep with Spore, we cocked it on the first try with an Ultra Ball. Next was Articuno, and as expected, we got lost in the Seafoam Island puzzle. Eventually, we found it, put it to sleep, and cocked it in our second attempt. Then, we returned to Victory Road, where after several Ultra Balls, we added Moltres to our collection. Next was Mew. Since I had forgotten the exact steps for the glitch, I had to repeat it many times, but in the end we pulled it off and cocked it. Finally, the last challenge, Mewtwo. This one was easy, as we used our Master Ball we had been holding on to since Sylph, and with that, the run was complete. The final time was 19 hours 24 minutes, but since we played at 4 times speed, the run likely took around 4 hours and 51 minutes, with only 2 resets, both against Blue at the very end. Considering this was the first run, full of mistakes and getting lost in dungeons, I'm happy with the result. As for the team, Vaporeon was the standout surprise, while Wigglytuff was a bit underwhelming. Parasite proved invaluable as a catcher, thanks to Spore's perfect accuracy, and using Farfetch for the first time was awesome. Let's see how the other playthroughs went. Here we are again. This time we are picking up Bulbasaur. Blue goes down after a few tackles, and you know the drill: Viridian City, the parcel, and the Pokédex. After that, we followed the same path as with Charmander, heading to Viridian Forest to train, before returning to face Blue for the second time. Along the way, we caught some Pokémon to prepare for obtaining a Gem 5 later. This time, however, it took 2 attempts to defeat Blue. Sun attack in this game is brutal. After finally overcoming him, we headed straight north to challenge Brock. With Vine Whip at our disposal, both Geodude and Onix went down easily, earning us our first badge. Next, we battled every trainer on Route 3, losing once along the way. During this part, Bulbasaur evolved into Ivysaur. Unfortunately, we lost another battle before reaching Mount Moon, where we suffered yet another defeat, this time against a Rocket Grant. Eventually, we made it to Cerulean City. This time, we took on Misty first. Thanks to our type advantage, and Starmie lacking any psychic moves, the battle was a breeze. With 2 badges in hand, we headed north for another showdown with Blue. We lost once before taking him down on the second attempt. After that, we cleared Nugget Bridge, and defeated all the trainers on Route 25, except those needed later for the Mew Glitch. We also helped Bill return to normal and received the SSN ticket in return. From there, we went straight to train inside the SSN and also grabbed the bike voucher. Inside the ship, Ivysaur evolved into Venusaur. This time, Blue was no problem at all. Razor Leaf is ridiculously strong in this generation. After winning, we received a Gem 1, which we immediately took to our only Pokémon. Before heading to Rock Tunnel, we picked up a Gem 5, but couldn't use it yet since we lacked the right Pokémon. Unlike previous playthroughs, we are managing our inventory as we go, rather than waiting until the end. After battling every trainer on Route 9 and navigating Rock Tunnel without Flash, we finally arrived at Lavender Town. From there, we headed west to Cerulean City, via Route 8 to pick up our second team member, Eevee, who will soon evolve into Jolteon using a Thunderstone. Jolteon will also serve as our Flash user. After training on previous routes and inside the gym, it was time to face Erika. With our over-leveled Venusaur, the battle was a breeze. After securing the victory, we picked up a Gem 2, though we couldn't teach it to anyone yet. Next, we headed back to Vermilion City, as we had yet to defeat Surge. This time, Jolteon handled the battle with ease. Despite not having an ideal moveset, being slightly over-leveled gave him the edge. With 4 badges in hand, our next stop was the Rocket Hideout. We battled every Gran in sight, including Giovanni, and this time we grabbed the Sylph Scope after he dropped it. With that in our possession, we made our way to Pokémon Tower. Blue was no match for us, and after clearing out Team Rocket, Mr. Fuji rewarded us with the Pokéflute. We wasted no time to put into good use. Snorlax became our newest team member. Soon after, on Route 16, we cocked the Duo to serve us as our HM2 user. As in previous playthroughs, we took on every trainer across Route 16, 17 and 18, as well as routes 12 through 15. By the time we arrived in Fuchsia City, our team had received plenty of training, and the Duo had evolved into Dodrio. The Safari Zone only took 1 attempt this time, and we secured HM3 for our 5th team member, as well as HM4 for Snorlax. Up next was Koga, who stood no chance against Dodrio's Drill Peck. This was my first time using Dodrio, and it turned out to be a fantastic Pokémon. Before facing Sabrina, we went straight to Silphco. The first order of business, after grabbing the keycard, was taking on Blue. He went down without much trouble. We also picked up our final team member, Lapras, who will serve as a surf user. We began training Lapras while clearing out the remaining floors of Silphco, eventually facing Giovanni once more. With that done, we took on Sabrina, who became another victim of our incredible Dodrio and its devastating Drill Peck. With only 2 badges left, we surfed to Cinnabar Island via Route 21 and cleared the Pokémon Mansion far more easily than in our last playthrough. After receiving the key, we challenged Blaine. Thanks to the combined efforts of Lapras, Snorlax, and the mighty Dodrio, we secured our 7th badge. Next up was our final gym battle, one last showdown against Giovanni. As expected, he was no match for Venusaur. The same could be said for our next battle against Blue, who also fell without much trouble. At this point, I decided it was time to start catching the legendary Pokémon, beginning with Zapdos. Venusaur, our designated catcher, put it to sleep with a sleep powder, and it took only 2 balls to capture it. Next was Mew. After successfully performing the glitch, we caught it with a single ball. Finally, we made our way through the Seafoam Island to catch Articuno. This one put up more of a fight, requiring a lot of Ultra Balls, but eventually it was ours. With that, we proceeded to Victory Road, making a quick detour to catch Moltres. Surprisingly, we snagged it on the first attempt after putting it to sleep. Upon reaching Indigo Plateau, our team was complete and ready to take on the Elite Four. Let's see how they performed against Kanto's finest. The first battle was against Lorelei, who stood no chance against Jolteon's Thunderbolt, while Snorlax handled Jinx with ease. Next up was Bruno, who fell mostly to Lapras, with Venusaur finishing off his Machamp. Agatha was a breeze, thanks to Snorlax Earthquake and Rock Slide. As expected, Lance was no match for Lapras and its Ice Beam. Finally, the last showdown against Blue was a true team effort, with all 5 members contributing to the victory. This team was incredible, even after a rough start to the playthrough. After the credits rolled, we headed straight to Cerulean Cave to catch Mewtwo with the Master Ball. The run clocked in at 15 hours and 16 minutes, in 4 times speed, about 3 hours and 49 minutes in normal time, with 5 resets along the way. This playthrough felt much smoother, especially in dungeons, inventory management, and optimizing the order of events. The MVPs were undoubtedly Dodrio and Snorlax, who carried the team once they come online, and also Venusaur's Razor Leaf. Let's kick off this final run. With all the knowledge gained from our previous 2 playthroughs and Squirtle as our starter, it's time to see how well we can perform. The journey began as expected, defeating Blue tackle after tackle, receiving the Pokédex, and heading straight to Route 22 to catch our second team member, Spearow. After the usual trek through Viridian Forest, where we trained and caught a few Pokémon for later, we returned to Route 22 for another battle against Blue, who went down with ease. Next up was Brock, and thanks to Squirtle's Bubble, both of his rock types crumbled, earning us the first badge. We then made our way east to Route 3 and into Mount Moon. While battling against Team Rocket, Squirtle evolved into Wartortle. Eventually, we arrived in Cerulean City, where we faced Blue once again. Another straightforward victory. After clearing Nugget Bridge, we caught our 3rd member, Oddish, on Route 24. Then came Misty, who put up a fight, but with the combined strength of Oddish and Wartortle, we secured our 2nd badge. 3 playthroughs in, and Starmie continues to prove itself as a formidable opponent. With Misty defeated, we ventured to Route 25, taking down every trainer except the 2 needed for the Mew Glitch. After helping Bill for the last time and receiving the SSN ticket, we headed straight to Vermilion City. Along the way, our Spearow evolved into Fearow. Before tackling the SSN, we took a detour to Route 11 to catch our 4th team member, Drowsy. While training on the same route, Oddish evolved into Gloom. In the same route, we lost against a trainer, causing a reset. After that, we headed straight to the SSN, battling every trainer on board before easily defeating Blue once again. After receiving a Gem 1, we taught Cat to Gloom and moved on. As usual, we made a quick trip through Diglett's cave to grab a Gem 5, which we gave to Drowsy. Back in Vermilion City, it was time to challenge Lieutenant Surge. Drowsy handled all 3 of Surge's Pokémon effortlessly, securing our 3rd badge. From there, we moved on to Route 9 and battled our way through Rock Tunnel, eventually arriving at Lavender Town. While training on Route 8, Drowsy evolved into Hypno, giving our team a solid power boost. Once we reached Route 5, we caught our final team member, Growlithe, before continuing to Celadon City. To help Growlithe catch up in levels, we backtracked and took on additional trainers. Along the way, we picked up HM2 and took flight to Firo. Next on the agenda was the rocket hideout beneath the game corner. After making our way through and defeating Giovanni in a quick and easy battle, we took on gym leader Erika. With the combined efforts of Growlithe, Hypno and Firo, her team fell swiftly, earning us the 4th badge. With that, we returned to Lavender Town and climbed Pokémon Tower, defeating Blue yet again. After clearing out Team Rocket and rescuing Mr. Fuji, we received the Pokéflute, allowing us to move forward. As usual, we battled every trainer along routes 12 through 15, making Wartortle evolve into Blastoise, and also take down every trainer on Cycling Road. Upon arriving in Fuchsia City, I decided it was time to evolve Gloom into Vileplume, before taking on Gym Leader Koga. As expected, Hypno effortlessly swept through his team, thanks to its type advantage. Psychic types are truly overpowered in Gen 1. With Koga defeated, we tackled the Safari Zone in a single run, grabbing HM3 Surf and teaching it to Blastoise, along with HM4 Strength. With those secured, it was time to clear Silphco. As always, we grabbed the keycard first, and then systematically took down every trainer on each floor. Once the building was clear, we easily defeated Blue and then Giovanni, earning our Master Ball in the process. Next up was Sabrina, and this battle was intense. Blastoise barely held on, finishing the fight with just 2 HP, but we secured another badge. By this point, inventory management was fully under control, ensuring we didn't waste time later on. With that done, we made our way to the Seafoam Island to catch Articuno. This time, we had 2 dedicated catchers, but Hypno and a stockpile of Ultra Balls got the job done, securing our first legendary. After clearing the surrounding routes, we arrived at Cinnabar Island, completed the Pokémon Mansion, and took on Blaine. Blastoise showed no mercy, effortlessly sweeping his fire types for our 7th badge. The final gym battle against Giovanni was up next, and this time, Hypno dismantled his entire team without breaking a sweat. With all the 8 badges in hand, I decided to catch Mew first, successfully performing the glitch and securing it with a few Ultra Balls. Next, we went for Zapdos, which took a few attempts before finally staying in the ball. At Route 22, we battled against Blue with an easy win. Finally, just before entering Victory Road, I evolved Growlithe into Arcanine, completing the final team. Inside Victory Road, we encountered Moltres, and, after a few Ultra Balls, caught our penultimate legendary. Now it's time to take on the Elite Four one last time and see how this team performs. Lorelei required some solid teamwork. Vileplume handled her first 3 water types, Arcanine took down Jinx, and Hypno finished off Lapras. Bruno, on the other hand, was a breeze. Blastoise easily handled his rock types, while Hypno dominated the fighting types. Agatha followed, and she was just as easy. A mix of Arcanine's Dig, Firo's Drill Peck, and Blastoise Earthquake made quick work of her team. Finally, Lance put up a bit more resistance, but Hypno took care of Gyarados, and Blastoise Ice Beam wiped out the rest of his dragons. With the Elite Four defeated, it was time for the final showdown against Blue. This battle required every team member to step up. Blastoise quickly dispatched Pidgeot, but Blue's Alakazam proved to be a major threat, taking down Firo, Hypno, and almost Arcanine. Despite the struggle, Vileplume managed to knock out both Rhydon and Gyarados, while Blastoise handled Arcanine. Finally, Venusaur fell after a combination of Blastoise Ice Beam and Arcanine's Flamethrower. It was a clutch victory, but we pulled through. With the run complete, we made our usual trip to Cerulean Cave, catching Mewtwo with the Master Ball. Our final time was 16 hours 49 minutes at 4 times the speed, around 4 hours and 12 minutes in real time, with just 1 reset. Overall, this was another amazing team, though not as strong as the last one. Blastoise and Hypno were outstanding, but the other members didn't quite perform as well. Firo and Vileplume struggled, and Arcanine joined too late in the game due to Growlithe learning Flamethrower so late. This wall experience was both fun and useful. We now have 3 of each legendary Pokémon to send to future playthroughs if needed. Revisiting these classic games has been a nostalgic journey, and without a doubt, I'll keep coming back to them time and time again. I don't think this will be the last time I do a series of runs like this in other Pokémon generations. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with my latest content. Keep training and take care!